Hey folks, this week I've got a quick production tutorial that builds on some of the stuff we were discussing with intervals in the last video. Let's get into it. So in these track lanes I've built up a couple different examples of how the intervals are constructed to make chords. If I take a look here and I count up the semitones, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can tell this is already a major third, and then 1, 2, 3, I have a minor third. So this is a major chord. Let's have a listen. So these all have a major quality to them, and that's because they're all inversions of one another. What that means is that I've taken a note from the bottom and I'm able to move that up 12 tones to the exact same note. So if I've got a C here, if I pull this up all the way to my next C, I've got the same note an octave up. It's still the same chord, except it's now got a different interval between the fifth and what was the root of the chord. The same thing happens with the third here. I've got this E, and when I pull it up, I've got the next inversion. So you can take pre-existing chords that you construct using the major and minor intervals and move notes around by an octave to create different textures with the same notes. I've done the same with this minor chord example. You can see in the root position, I've got a 1, 2, 3, a minor third, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, a major third. By moving notes up and down an octave, I can create different textures. In the next 4 track lanes, I've put together a few chord progressions that have different examples of how major and minor chords might fit together. Have a listen to each of them. This one's a 1 chord to the 4 chord to the 4 minor to the 1 chord. You'll recognize it. The bottom one's a personal favorite of mine. Let's see what we can do to it. I'm going to first export this as a MIDI file so I can import it to a new project. Let's enter a new session in the studio. Add new track, import file, and here's the MIDI file here in my downloads. The MIDI file's now in the track lane. Let's make this piano a bit darker. I'm going to turn down the treble, turn up the reverb, and add a high cut filter. Let's just hear what this sounds like on loop. Add a drum pattern to it. Extend this, cut it, merge these, loop this. Let's see what we can do by creating a new bass region with this already existing track lane. I'm going to move these down an octave by transposing them 12 steps down or 1 octave. I'm going to use the already existing notes to start to create a bass line. Let me take this A down an octave. Hopefully this brief demonstration in how you can manipulate chords and the intervals that construct them will help you in your own productions. Take a look at the chords and the other loops I've included in this session and feel free to import them into your own.